The Christian Horner saga rumbles on. Per Craig Slater, though, we can expect a resolution within the next 24 hours, as at the time of writing. Between now and then, however, the legend that is Jordan team principal Eddie Jordan has chimed in, saying words to the effect of, "I've seen many wrong decisions in my time, but this Red Bull situation is the most absurd I've ever seen." Of course, Horner has the presumption of innocence, continues Jordan, but does anyone believe that the accuser plucked these accusations out of thin air? If Horner is innocent, does that make this person guilty? The damage to Red Bull's image is huge. Somebody needs to pull the cord. And the irony is not lost on me that his first stanza contradicts his second. Presumption of innocence means that we can't speculate like this. But Eddie Jordan, of course, being Eddie Jordan, does it anyway. Ergo, before chiming in earnest on this topic, you got to see perfect information, results, substantives of the investigation, if indeed we ever get to see them. So I'd counter you then, Mr. Jordan, because to presume innocence at this point is to presume innocence, and that necessitates not speculating on the veracity of any alleged accusations. But Craig Slater of Sky Sports F1 has reported that this will all come to a head over the next 24 hours. By close of play on Wednesday, we should expect to know the findings, whether Christian Horner continues in his tenure as Red Bull team principal or whether he's forced to step down. Eric van Haaland of the Dutch publication The Telegraph, the publication where all these allegations first came to light, reports that this will be a quick meeting. What we're talking about here is a sit down between the Red Bull C-suite executives. They will have a conversation. They will digest the findings and the outcomes of the independently conducted investigation. And only then will they make their decision. But it's important to remember that there is friction, allegedly, fissure between the C-suite execs in Austria and the Yavidra family in Thailand. It's alleged that Oliver Mintzlaff and co in Austria are tired of Christian Horner's antics, that they've run out of patience. They even refer to him as Icarus by virtue of the fact that he's had so many skirmishes as far as his PR down the years. But the F1 Insider looks at a key detail in all of this, that prior to his passing, Dietrich Mateschitz, the Red Bull CEO, used to oversee all of these matters, human resources. Mateschitz had veto. His privilege was carte blanche. And prior to Dietrich's passing, it wasn't established nor formalised how these responsibilities would roll forward without him. And it's especially important that we bear this in mind when Ralf Schumacher, younger brother of Michael, reports that Charlie Yavidra considers Christian Horner a son, that the Thai family that own 51% of Red Bull's shares will support Christian Horner unconditionally. Ralf Schumacher continues, and I quote, "Whether we like it or not, unfortunately, Western values around equality have not yet arrived in Thailand. There, the role of a woman is viewed differently," unquote. And Horner's case hasn't been helped by the satirising of the circumstance and situation on Netflix Drive to Survive, in a scene where Santa poses the question to Horner's family whether this year he's been a good boy or not. Oh, the humanity. Indeed, the F1 world watches this situation with bated breath. Interestingly, the team principal's press conference is due to take place Thursday at 4:30 GMT. Horner's name, nowhere to be seen. Thus, the bottom line in the Christian Horner saga is this. Since the Yavidra family own 51% of the shares, the majority, Horner's suspension or dismissal cannot happen without their say-so. And Horner's charge Max Verstappen has chimed in once again on just how good the car felt in testing. Verstappen asserted that for once in his life during testing, he could have done with less laps, not more. If you're a betting man, to place your chips on any driver not named Max Verstappen for the Bahrain Grand Prix and the championship in 24, but just be daft. And the odds makers agree with me, because for the championship, Max Verstappen is a massive 18-5 on favourite. That's to say you run 100 simulations and Max will win 80. Jeez. And what would a day in the F1 news cycle be without a Helmut Marko statement? The Austrian can't help but chime in on the status of Checo Perez's seat, saying that Alex Albon is currently out of scope. He's contracted to 2025. Discerning F1 eyes amongst us will be cognizant that this is just a PR play. that indeed conversations probably are ongoing with one Alex Albon. Toby Garina reports on the Mercedes W15 saying that they plan to dispense with the modular wishbone setup. The drivers reported it didn't feel great in testing. And many will extrapolate from this that Mercedes has solved to some extent the stability of their platform that caused them instability on turning and apex so frequently in 23 and 22. And in other news, Senna reincarnate one Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who spoke out about difficulty experiencing his first testing session in F2. He's spoken quite candidly about the physical toll that driving the F2 cars took on him, and with good reason. This isn't his year in F2. He's supposed to be in F3, for Pete's sake. Antonelli said he struggled with the downforce and the ferocity of the brakes, which bears out some aficionados' concerns that potentially he's not ready for the next step, not just yet into Formula 1. But that hasn't stopped Toto Wolff declaring that Kimi Antonelli's ready to be in F1 as soon as this year. Reports say that Antonelli will run the W13 in parallel to his F2 season. The world awaits to see whether Andrea Kimi Antonelli can live up to this hype, and that journey kicks off Thursday at 1:30 p.m. F2 quali. And in other Mercedes related news, Lewis Hamilton has told Autosport that he didn't even tell his family about the Ferrari move until the day of the announcement. And that's in stark contrast to rumours that Anthony Hamilton was directly involved in the negotiation. And cue much consternation and rancour at Mercedes this year as Toto Wolff has something different to say. He says he was responsible for the leaking of the Scuderia Ferrari news, not Lewis Hamilton. Toto said that his spidey senses were tingling. He knew that something was going on in the background when his good mate Frederic Vasseur wouldn't take his calls. Expect nothing less than soap opera settings at Mercedes this year. And Netflix, via their Drive to Survive, have let Verstappen fans down. 0 episodes were dedicated to the Dutchman's excellence manifest. As brilliant as Max's flame burned on track last year, evidently Drive to Survive's producers deemed it not episode worthy, not exciting enough. Fans who think that F1 is at its brilliant best when there is friction and uncertainty will be watching the Bahrain Grand Prix this Saturday with bated breath.